So we've got Rice Farm versus Gol Gumbaz. Obviously, it's hard to get your opinions on things because you know a little bit more than the average person. But
Yep.
trying to put that aside, we've seen them both in action. Any thoughts on what this matchup should show?
All I think is they both played hidden forts
Yep.
from memory in round one, and they might have both. No, I don't remember what the Gol Gumbaz Pavilion A game two was. I remember there was
That was the not slopes quarry, and they went
Quarry.
forward and tried to go towers and
That's right. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we might see a lot more open land maps.
Yep.
Because I remember Land Madness was Rice Farms game two.
Yes.
So Quarry, Land Madness, we might see. Maybe Mudflow might find its way in, even.
I'd be super excited to get some Mudflow action. Sitting there alone, unpicked.
We'll see if we'll see another attempt at the human 2TC.
Yes. The cumin pick's been interestingly used all over the sets so far. No one's really been consistent, but they've been cooking with them.
Yeah, I think it's definitely it's an all-in strategy, which is quite passive for the first 20 minutes, right? It's most all-in strategies usually take the initiative, whereas this one takes a very unconventional all-in approach.
It's a boom all in, but like a Castle Edge timing rather than like a deep Castle Edge Imperial timing, which is really interesting. Or you can just go for the old double douche. You never know.
Yeah, we could see that again.
Absolutely. All right, let's get this draft started. So, starting off with our bans, obviously. If Mudflow gets banned, I'll probably just cry. Fractal. Ooh. Okay, Rice Farm. Not wanting to go on Fractal.
Wow.
And we didn't see Gol Gumbaz play on Fractal, so that's definitely a drafting for themselves rather than trying to play their opponent. And Quarry, Gol Gumbaz doesn't want to go through that again. Did not work. And Land Madness, like clockwork. There's Legrand Foz. The Gumby's cooking.
I think that was banned in the in the first round. So
and Mudflow, here we go. Exciting. Rice Farm. It's got a big decision here, actually. And Monocle. Love that map.
Oh.
Love that map.
Here we go.
Boggy's gone. Shame. So Hidden Forts or Slopes. And Slopes goes out and we're both going to Hidden Forts. So Hidden, I think this was the admin pick for both of their opening sets. So it's a map they don't necessarily highly favor, but a map that they're both happy to play on.
It is interesting that it was game one in a best of three, but then in a best of five, it's also game one. So it's just perfectly placed for them.
Yeah, it's interesting. But good little maps here. Obviously, all the maps are great, so I'm never going to say that. Early prediction is if admin doesn't get in the way, I think Rice Farm just goes for that Magyar pick nice and early, like last time. I'm interested to see what's cooking for Gol Gumbaz on Legrand Foz. That's a map that you can put a bit of preparation into, and there's a few different ways to skin it. So coming up with that as the pick, I think there's a bit of a prepared strategy, which is exciting.
I think that's one of the maps that you would ban if Bog Islands or Mudflow.
Yeah.
If you'd worked on Bog Islands and Mudflow, Legrand Fossé is the next one, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's probably slightly more standard than those maps, but there's a lot going on and a lot to understand about how the map plays out. Or you just go for a dumb fast castle because you got so much food and you just skip the way the map was intended.
Yeah. It's like Hideout, but a little bit
you have to fight
scarier. Yeah, exactly.
It's like Hideout, but there's one longboat possible.
Yeah.
All right, let's see how admin goes. I think admin's going to have had the best draft by the end of this tournament. Mongols straight off the bat, Slavs, Incas. These are all top tier civs. Magyar's gone.
Magyars.
Ooh, that's big, man.
I think Franks is going to be picked early then.
I would take this as my draft. That would be my civs. I would be happy to go. Jeez, admin has got no chill whatsoever. And Chinese, okay, yep. Chinese can be very strong on mud flow, so that's a really good ban.
With the hidden, I mean, not the hidden, the parallel pick, maybe a sneaky quick Chinese, like that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Is it
have
too
your finger
risky?
on the trigger? Yeah.
If you're banning second, you're at a disadvantage, right? Because you sort of have to line up your ban and then go to.
Yeah, but you also in control of the timing, as we see.
True.
Portuguese. Yeah, so you know when it's going to happen. And here we go. Japanese, boom.
Japanese. Ooh, what map's that for?
Yeah.
Is Le
Grand Fosse, maybe? Is it a Towers? And Franks. Franks for Land Madness.
Land Madness. Yep. Yeah. So drafting their own maps. Yeah, seems to be the way.
And Cumans. Rice Farm gets into Cumans and Georgians for Gol Gumbaz. Georgians would be an epic Land Madness sim, actually. Just get the mule cart to take Hunt. That'd be a pretty good call. And that was a quick pick, the Georgians. And Armenians, Kados, here we go. Kados. Kados, get excited. They've been picked for the first time. And then, that was a rapid fire Hindustani's Berbers.
Gol Gumbaz is drafting the unique lumber camp civs.
Yeah, they actually are.
Japanese with a half price and the 2 mule carts.
And then, I don't know how we'll sell it for Vikings, but we'll get there. Maybe it's the economy civs, the cheaper collection points and the different collection points, and then the instant wheelbarrow. Gumbaz wins the tournament now. Like, they win part of the tournament now.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have drafted Armenians in the first set. Spanish. I actually quite like that for hidden forts. That's a good little civ there. That might force maybe a Berbers pick rather than the Cumans.
Yeah. Although Hindustanis
as well, yeah.
What's the second home map for Rice Farm?
Monocle.
Maybe Japanese is Monocle then, actually.
Yeah, Japanese could be actually really handy on Monocle. Persians. Trusty Persians.
Weird, because there's no fractal. So
yeah,
what are you picking Persians for? Just
Persians for Mudflow, right? It's a hybrid map.
I think I'm the only one who puts Persians on fractal so vehemently.
And Koreans.
Blue play 10 unconfirmed. Definitely not me.
No. Oh well. Hey, having said that, if you were in a hidden cup tournament, a hidden identity tournament, your final pick being Koreans, knowing that you had the civs you wanted, would be the best drafting throw.
Yeah.
So
I have tried to play Koreans a little bit more as well. So
they're great. Just towers go. Just think of towers as stationary archers and just place them all over the map.
That's true. Monocle's really good for that.
Yeah, actually, that could be quite interesting. So just looking back at the maps, we're going to go to hidden forts first. So I think it's either Cumans or I think Cumans is the most obvious. Oh no, Rice Farm's cooking. Cumans is Monocle. That's the plan. That's what both you and I have done.
Yeah.
See, I think Cumans is the Monocle pick. I think maybe it's like Persians or Berbers for land for hidden forts, and I think it's Spanish or Koreans for hidden forts for the Gumbaz.
I did say Franks were going to be first pick for Rice, didn't I? The Land Madness.
Yeah. Yep. So I think Land Madness is Franks into Georgians, and I think it's as you called.
I mean, I'd personally go Franks there, but I mean, Georgian, like my Land Madness peak was pre-Georgian, so maybe Georgians would have been my.
I think.
Oh, Matthew with the stats, bloody hell!
Matty's the statistician. Very towery of him. Persians on Hidden Fort, yeah, if you get a good boom off, I don't mind it. So that could be really interesting. The other interesting thing while we got Maddie in chat talking about stats is where's the Burmese drafting? No one's pretending to be TDI. Is that because he's so confirmed, or is that because we are?
I think Burmese have been forgotten as a TDI civ. It's now the Vietnamese.
He's a metabot now.
So we did see a few Vietnamese drafted, right?
We have seen Vietnamese drafted. Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm going to start loading the game up, but whilst that's doing it, I'm just going to quickly run and grab my water bottle because I've been super prepared. I will be back in 2 minutes.
Nice.
All right, I'm back. TDI confirmed or unconfirmed? Chat's going off. Chat's going off. All right. Have you got the game up and ready to go, Blue?
I do. I will just. There we go.
Go to capture age. Bring that up. So, game 1 of the best of 5 in the Blues Clues second bracket semi-final between Gol Gumbaz and Rice Farm, and we see the Hindustanis for Rice Farm versus the Vikings for Gol Gumbaz. Now, that's a fascinating pick by Gol Gumbaz. So
will the Viking pike be enough against camels? Is that where I'm thinking this is going to go?
Yeah, but I guess it ends up with hand cannons, right?
And
that becomes quite interesting. Or are we going for like a big fast archer play with the Vikings?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Viking pick's interesting.
It's hard to see long term where the Vikings will be. What they're aiming for.
They're not a closed map civ whatsoever.
Maybe the what's the unique unit? The Berserker.
The Berserker. The Berserker would shred camels.
It's very much a raiding kind of map if you can hold your nerve down a central push, I think.
It's gonna be an interesting game. Are you ready to crack into it?
I am ready.
Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go. And here we are. Super fascinating pick by Gol Gumbaz. We're just theorizing on it, but they've definitely got something cooked. My prediction is this is going to be a bit of a fast feudal into archers, and hopefully, I think your ideal strategy is to cut through the forest. Hope your opponent is cutting through the forest, and then put all your pressure onto their starting base. But let's see what happens.
From memory, the Gol Gumbaz strategy was to wall and not go through the middle.
Yes, they were humans.
Do you think the Hindustani pick is taking that into account? It means that the walls will go down quicker with scouts.
Ooh.
It will be harder to repair.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's the idea here. I mean, obviously Hindustanis are a great civ, but
yeah. And obviously they can fast castle very effectively. They can go boom. They can do a lot of different things. I feel like Hindustanis was a counter pick to coming up against a Cav boom civ. But I do like the fact that they're probably thinking Cav boom civ. I can go scouts, break their walls down, and I can go camels to counter what they've got. So the Vikings is a bit of a cook here, as we see Rice Farm going to the middle. And Gol Gumbaz going to the middle for the Woodlands.
Oh, wow. Okay. A bit of a change in strategy then.
Yeah. They did cook with humans last time, and I do think going to the middle as humans would have been suicide.
Yep. Now, was Rice Farm the Khmer or the other player
the Khmer.
last time?
They were the Khmer versus Teutons.
Teutons, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Now, will we see like a tower? Like, neither of these civs are really tower.
The great thing about towers is that every civ gets them.
That's true.
And, like, realistically in Feudal Age, the only civilization with a tower advantage directly is Teutons. It polls maybe on the healing aspect. It's easier to keep towers up, but really the cheaper Inca towers. I always forget about that one.
And then there's this thing.
That's forced me out. Sicilians technically don't get counters. Don't get towers, which is correct.
Yeah.
That's 100% correct. Alright, so just watching the Borlor from Gol Gumbaz. And there's going to be one coming from Rice Farm immediately afterwards. Yeah. Just an important focus I need to get back to.
Rice Farm also pushing a deer at the same time.
Gumbaz got theirs in just before. Now, Gumbaz has twice just killed the boar without the TC. And Rice Farm was a bit interesting. They did not shoot it enough with the TC. But took it in a good spot.
Their first ball lure was too far to the right, so the garrisoning aspect was different.
Yeah.
So just using... That's sort of like some old school TC ball luring.
And we see Gumbaz getting an early wall up whilst pushing deer. So... I'm thinking it's feudal from both players, though, looking at the way they've set up.
Yeah, it's 3 on wood. It's an early wall. But I guess...
Loom in for Gol Gumbaz, and this is going to be a 19 pop up. And Loom's in for Hindustanis, and it's going to be 19 pop for both. Just drop your food off, please, and up for that. A very clean opening for both players, actually.
A little bit. Gol Gumbaz adding an extra veil.
Adding an extra veil. Didn't quite have the food. Interesting. They will now. They just got a force drop. Yeah. Okay. And they're waiting for a barracks, I reckon, with that veil.
Yeah, yep. There we go.
Excellent. Okay, so this is going to be an aggressive play from both players. Now, Gol Gumbaz has been shift-clicking their way through the wood line.
Yeah. 80 wood left, and it's going to be through.
Yeah. So, a back barracks for Rice Farm. Is that trying to... I wonder if we're going to play this out through the middle.
I think so. Let's have a look at the scouting. I mean, Rice Farm is still pushing deer.
Rice Farm's not left their base.
And so is Gol Gumbaz. So
interesting. I
guess... Yeah.
Wow. It's fascinating. I remember I casted this for AoE leagues. This was the league that Nessie won as well. So, around this ELO. One of the players had hidden forts, and he would always go through the middle with archers and take control of the map with that. But the one thing he consistently did was scout his opponent's base and their wood line and make sure they were chopping on the inside. Because if they're not chopping on the inside and your army goes in, you've wasted it.
Exactly.
But...
Gol Gumbaz is through.
Gol Gumbaz is through, and is his scout coming through to... Yep. Excellent. Hopefully can do that scouting for him. I'd love to see Gol Gumbaz bring another boar in. And archery range on the front for Gumbaz. And scouts for Rice Farm. And scouts going around the back, though. Interesting.
And I think Gol Gumbaz... We'll see what happens, but the wall has completely blocked the inside from the outside, so...
And they're going to confirm that it's almost chopped through for a Hindustani player. They've got the scouting now. And tower.
4 vills.
Yeah, tower. This is so good because... Hey, the otter. Thanks for the raid, Otter. Hope you're going well. I'm just going to say this tower looks great because Blue's going to see it. Blue's going to see it.
Wow.
Do we wall in behind?
Perfectly placed.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's perfectly placed, but there's the
Yeah,
so
now we're
Gol
blocked.
Gumbaz with the
tower
quicker. But then again, the tower is still exposed for Fields to rush it down.
Yeah, the tower's very exposed. Hey, Crazy Joe. Hey, Otter. Excellent. You guys have been doing Stronghold Frenzy. So we've got a little community hidden identity game where everyone's playing as a building and they're playing under assumed identities. And this is game 1 of the semi-final between Gol Gumbaz and Rice Farm. I've got Blue Player in the commentary box with me. And we're going to be speculating about who we think it is and having a bit of fun casting this. It's the Aussie Hidden Cup, absolutely. The 12 to 1400 ELO. You guys don't know who Blue Player is.
Perfect time.
Oh, the Archer timing's perfect. Gumbaz is cooking here. I like this. And the tower keeps it open, right? So they can push into the base. As we see a militia in queue. No, Rice Farm's made a militia. There's a bit of pressure on them here.
Wow. The walling now looks a little bit silly for Rice Farm, who's just started to wall the outside.
Yeah, look at that.
The scouts are fine though. Where are the spears? They're out of position, unfortunately.
But it's kind of okay because Viking spears are going to be great here. Using the scouts mobility is really good for Rice Farm, but only 2 scouts isn't really gonna do enough damage. As I say that, we're probably going to see Vil go down.
Needs to queue. There are more spears in the queue, which is great.
But the archers are just going forward, and there's no army at home for Rice Farm.
Again, the archers are sort of left on their own. There's enough spears to, keep a couple of spears at home and then send 1 spear with the archer. Oh, it's a tower.
It's a tower in defense. Have we got fletching in yet? We do have fletching in. So the Otter's just asking about the draft. It's they draft 6 civs and there's 7 admin bans. But Vikings on Hidden Forts is odd. We think they're definitely cooking something up, and we're seeing a lot of early aggression here as a result. But a great tower for Rice Farm. That kind of, if they can just re-wall that second, like that outside of the base, then they're in a pretty secure position. As we see Auto Farm going into overdrive for Gol Gumbaz. And I think with this strategy, you really want to be in Castle Age first and really putting the pressure on your opponent. I think Rice Farm's handled the pressure quite well, bar the 1 militia.
I'm just reminded of the TDI Petard with that militia.
TDI confirmed.
It looks great. They're just guarding the guarding the farms.
Yeah, you shall not pass over here.
Look at this. Look at the spear HP. They've got more than the scout.
Crazy.
Like, do they normally have the same? What is the standard spear HP?
45.
Must be 45.
Yeah. You're the maths expert. Thanks for the follow order. Appreciate it. Ados with the big call. The militia's a spear counter.
It's true.
Crazy Joe, thanks for the follow.
Oh, Crazy Joe.
Oh no, he attacked the boar! The archer!
Oh no.
The rhino's got 1 kill.
Oh no. That's something that I would do.
Yeah.
These archers are getting picked off.
Yeah. Rice Farm's been
a little
really
bit
good.
of a
micro nerd. 5
5
kills with these 2 scouts has been pretty good. Rice equals ice. Could be, Kados. This could be the missing piece of the puzzle. Ice has been the person we haven't really been able to fit in. But his control and his defense here has been really good, Rice Farm. So could be that Rice equals ice.
The Vil's taken a couple hits to the scouts, so that's great, right? Like, rather than trying to run them away.
Yeah. But we do lose the scouts now. Yeah.
They go down.
Ooh, the Ville's going out to lumber the outside.
Yeah. Interesting.
And Castle Age is in for Rice Farm. And look at this eco. We've got 16 farms. We've got, well, we have Horse Collar coming in now. We got Bidax nice and early, but Gol Gumbaz's eco's not in a bad position. It's both players make a market at the same time.
I think Rice Farm, even though he banned Fractal, the farm pattern is a bit reminiscent of Fractal.
Yeah, it actually looks like Fractal. And have a look at what's really interesting about this is someone who's not auto farming. These are place farms. You can just see all those one tile gaps versus someone who's definitely auto farming.
I don't know anyone's farming.
No, I haven't researched it well enough.
I can't remember. There was someone who was watching me play, and they were confused at why I wasn't using auto farm. I think it was Matthew, actually.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Matthew.
Sounds like Matthew.
Okay, he's disgusting farms is what he says.
Yeah. Well, we know it's not Mr. Samo, one, because he's not playing, but two, because he didn't know how to auto farm until a couple of weeks ago. So I don't.
Oh.
So it's actually Rice Farm could have been him.
Could have been.
Yeah. Kados places perfect farms anyway. I also remember watching you play last week, Blue, and you dropped farms and with auto farm and went, why did I use this? I could make farms better myself.
Yeah. I think I spent more time deleting some farms.
Yeah.
With auto farm. Oh.
Castle in the defensive castle. And we've gone 2 stables. So is this a light cav play? I can't see camels being what we do. I know Hindustani camels are good, but I don't really see them as the right move. Are we going Ghoul?
It is camels.
Infantry archer, infantry armor coming in.
Yeah. Do you think the couple of camels are just because he wanted military out and his macro was set up? Like, look at the gold. So. Like, both players have been floating a bit of gold this game that they don't need.
Yep.
Oh, there's 4 Vills on the right.
Ooh, and they've been tracked.
Chased down.
Yeah. That's good awareness from Gol Gumbaz. And also interesting is Gol Gumbaz seems to have used their stone. Well, they've used it on the tower. And they're on stone, but they're not going to be able to drop TCs.
And wait, has Rice Farm not realised the Vills are being chased down?
I don't think so, no. It's a pretty...
Actually, the camels are on the way.
Camels are on the way.
He just doesn't care. These Vills...
But the camels are going to die to this. I don't actually see the camels winning this fight.
I mean,
the spears...
for Bodkin. Oh, the spears are going to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the camels are gone. But we do see in the middle more camels and Ghoul. So there's villagers pathing out into the middle for Gol Gumbaz. There's so much action going on right now. Both players getting great advantages.
Jeez, those vills in the middle, is that a metronomical TC gather?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Well, we did see Dome of the Rock having gather point issues in their set against Rice Farm. So
it was on this map as well.
It was on this map. Maybe it's just the Rice Farm effect.
Maybe it could just be. Maybe it's just hidden forts with the weird pathing.
Yeah.
Blocking here and there.
Yeah, definitely. But we see some good walls up for Gol Gumbaz, but Hindustani camels now, they're siege. They're not here for anything other than siege. And a defensive castle.
The Ghulam also do 2 damage to the buildings as well. So same bonus damage as the camels.
Yep. Yeah. So that market, there is walls behind it though, but that market could go down quite quickly.
that villager getting trapped in there has been a bit of a. Was that a power move there, or was that an accidental trap?
Oh, that was an accidental trap. That was semi-fortunate. Oh, he's deleting to get out. Oh! No! Oh, that was some hard clicking. That was some hard clicking.
As well.
Oh, no, get the wall down. But you've also chopped through the wood over here, so there's a pathway in. But the castle goes up. We've got crossbow in. And Gol Gumbaz actually has the eco lead. Both players are on 1 TC.
Do you think we should see Oh, he's just going to go Berserks. I was wondering, Berserks need the speed against the Ghulam, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But crossbow Berserk against Camel Ghulam seems to be
actually
ideal.
That was huge.
I was thinking before the castle, maybe you go for the infantry, like the swords line.
Yeah, but I think Berserks is the right call.
Yeah. It's pricey because look at that, 500 stone in the bank. We haven't got much on food.
I think we're going to see TCs now, though, from both players. As we see Rice Farm drop their second. No, Rice Farm didn't send Random Vills into the Eco Ace. It was Dome of the Rock against Rice Farm. But good remembering. But yeah, I think the game's just going to play out into a bit of a boom situation now. With TCs being added, defensive castles.
Look at the bottom of the map.
Yeah.
The 3 crossbow, 2 spears. Rice Farm has decided to delete, send the camels in.
Oof. And they got to clean up this time.
They did. But those 5 units had 6 eco kills and 6 military kills.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
And Gol Gumbaz does have the economy lead, and we.
I thought that was. I was like, here's an arson play, but no, it was Squires misclick.
Squires makes sense, right? Like, what's the speed of the Ghulam? It's 1.26. What's the speed of the Berserk? It's 105.
Yeah,
so
Squires will make a big difference.
Squires in.
Yeah. And the Otter's just asking about Elo. So the big thing on this tournament, like with Hidden Carp, is that we did completely random seeding. So we actually think that 2 players got... 2 of our top-rated players came up against each other in the first round. And probably one of our lower Elo players in Nessie is really like a 1400. Oh, big fight. Oh, this is a huge fight. How does this go down? Is Gumbaz going to clean?
I don't know.
No, they're down. Ooh, no. No, Rice Farm cleans up.
Yeah, the Berserks don't do any damage.
The wolf! He's been nibbling on everyone. Now he's off after the blue cows.
The unique tech for...
Wolf's going to get a kill. Wolf is going to get a kill.
Vikings.
Wolf. Guy is going to get its 2nd kill for the game.
Kados has been playing from the sidelines.
Kados has been playing from the sidelines.
This barracks, is it going to go down?
We're not going to get the walls in time. Just tap, 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 tap.
Oh, there we go. That wasn't even... That was auto. That all got completed.
Yeah, that was very lucky.
Perfect. Gol Gumbaz knows exactly how long it takes for barracks to go down compared to a wall to go up. But that gate, that gate's a bit of a disaster.
What gate? I've still got the wolf highlighted just to see how many kills it ends up with.
The problem here is the military production is a little bit lacking.
Ooh, Chieftains is in. And more armor. That'll help.
Yeah, the +5. The unique tech is really good, right?
But 4th TC coming down for Gol Gumbaz. Although there are 2 castles on their base.
Gol Gumbaz does have handcart, right, as the Vikings.
Yeah.
And I guess at the moment, all-in Berserkers seems like a pure counter, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Now that Chieftains is in,
the wolf died. Sad.
+2 armor, +2 attack as well. So.
Yeah. I think if they took that fight a little bit later, they would have been in a much better position. So we see them sending their Vil to finish the wall, which is smart. And I think Gol Gumbaz just wants to boom their way out of this.
Yeah, which maybe that's the Viking way. I mean, all-in Berserkers make sense until Imp when we get the hand cannon.
Yeah. Absolutely. No, we definitely want to see, I think, a big kind of Castle Age commitment from Gol Gumbaz. And then really, if they can force Rice Farm off of Ghulam, Viking Arbalester should do the trick.
Yeah.
Berserker, this castle's in danger at the back of Gol Gumbaz's base. Yeah.
And that is the problem with this map, is it's a bit disconnected.
Yeah.
The inside to the outside, and now Gol Gumbaz has made this sort of intermediate area. It's like a it's three distinct areas for Gol Gumbaz, whereas Rice Farm, the castle is actually sort of
it's giving them a protected zone. Yeah,
connecting all of it together.
Absolutely. And I think Rice Farm's activity with their army's just been really good. They've just been keeping that pressure on. And the Hindustani camels are now starting to just get shredded.
Yeah, that's great. Well, great for Gol Gumbaz, obviously.
Great for Gol Gumbaz, yeah. And
who has probably felt a little bit on the back foot for quite some time now.
But is caught up with eco numbers and is pulling ahead in terms of resources collected. And is definitely in a much stronger boom position, which is really what you want as Vikings.
And Rice Farm getting Bodkin Arrow, I think, purely for the castle.
Yeah, do you know what? That makes a lot of sense.
And look at the amount of stone that Gol Gumbaz has had to invest now that Bodkin is in.
Yeah.
Look at that stone wall.
It's still
awkward.
Yeah, man, that's a wall. That is definitely a wall. And they've stonewalled out on the other side, but they've left a gap out on the edge of the woodline.
Oh dear. What's the fog of war? Oh, they do see that.
They see it, yeah. But Gol Gumbaz wants to sit behind walls. We've seen it. This is what we've been seeing from them. And Imp is in for Rice Farm. Rice Farm is in a powerful position here.
Yeah, this is a bit...
And the farms are still safe from the militia.
I don't know about you as well, but if I'm in a game where I've got just one unit countering my opponent completely, I feel like the transition when Imp comes in, when things change, is a little bit more difficult, right?
Oh,
because
100%.
you're so focused on, like, once hand cannons in, do the berserkers just keep being produced? Or...
Yeah, do you keep producing? Is it production important, or is getting to the right unit important? As we see the camels melting in the middle. What camels?
I mean...
The berserkers are getting the value.
Look at the macro setup for Gol Gumbaz. It's still wood gold heavy.
Yeah.
Like obviously the food is his most like most villages on that, but
that's more for the boom to keep 4 TCs running. Yeah. As we see more wall investment, which is good from Gol Gumbaz. They're keeping their economy safe, but they're 50 seconds away from their opponent having trebs. And I think for Rice Farm, how they transition is really important. Like, what is their priority? You know, they can drop chemistry right away, but they might not be able to afford a treb. Although 1,000 stone in the bank probably says something else. And you know, the way that they put the foot down in their kind of now with Gol Gumbaz clicking up, which is really good, but they've got 2.5 minutes where they've got to survive Rice Farm's onslaught, and I think Rice Farm needs to get trebs out ASAP, and that is the right call. But looking, they've just sold a bit of stone, heavy camel.
Heavy camel.
Not sure about that. But do we even have a university? I don't think we do. Hand cannons are not on the table. Well, this is interesting for the Gumbaz then.
Yeah, can continue just to go berserk, and it's got ram push on the mind maybe.
Oh man, everyone wants to ram push these days. What have I missed in the meta?
What is the plan? Because Gol Gumbaz has clicked Imp and is building siege workshops.
Yeah. So well, I mean, siege ram for Vikings is a huge play for them, right? Infantry rams.
I guess expecting those castles to go down.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly. You just want to pump out as many berserk as you can get.
And I guess both castles are actually in danger of being trebbed as well. Like they're not safe. So
yeah, that's true.
A defensive castle maybe back in the corner of their base would be quite nice. So they've got a production.
Yep.
But maybe it is, let's get as many berserkers as possible, and then let's get an imp camel coming in as well. Rice Farm is doubling down.
There is an update on the wall on the right side as well. Gol Gumbaz has extended the wall, but technically there is a hole.
And they put a gate in. Yeah, I can't because I've gone to big trees to make the game look nice and pretty.
Have a look at that mining camp.
Oh yeah, you can just delete it.
We'll see. There's 2 Gulam there ready to go.
Yeah.
Once Rice Farm
that's funny.
sees that.
Yeah, and
oh, there we go.
Gol Gumbaz walling it up. As we see
problems in the middle.
Another trebable castle being made for the Gumbaz, which I'm not sure about, but the Ramtechs are flowing in. But Imperial Camel Rider into Berserkers. Can we afford the elite upgrade?
We do.
Okay.
I think that castle is fine, right? Because
they should be able to protect it.
Yeah, exactly right. If the Trebs come forward, there's no... Camels are not going to defend Trebs. Castles aren't defending Trebs.
Yeah. And they've lost their other 2 castles, and now, like, their walls are under attack.
Here we go. Chemistry's on the way.
Chemistry's on the way. Excellent. And archery range is in the back. So, Rice Farm's committed to production, which Kados, as the high elo consultant for the Discord, has told us is the correct decision. I don't know if I would have invested all the way to Imperial Camel, but hey, let's see how they go. And I think the other interesting thing is Gol Gumbaz has definitely got a far superior economy right now. More villages, better eco-techs, having the handcart coming in. They've actually got their castle age techs, which Rice Farm hasn't. So Rice Farm needs to kill with military interactions. So chemistry cannot come in fast enough. Chattagny will be in as well, so we will see the 9 range hand cannons. But I think we're going to see some dead Trebs here. And this is going to be an interesting fight. How will the Berserkers go against... Yep, deleting the walls for the Gumbaz, and we're just seeing camels die.
Yeah, I mean, they're going down around the same rate, but the total health for the camels is like 3 times that of the Berserkers.
Yeah, actually, the camels are kind of holding okay. The camels, the imp camel investment, is this it paying off? Hindustani camels have wiped, and the hand cannons are in, so the Berserker players kind of get dead now. That is amazing for Rice Farm. That is an unbelievable fight. I just did not see that happening. And Gol Gumbaz just calls the GG.
Yeah.
Wow. With 8 Rams on the field. Like, that is... Wow.
I think
there,
because the Berserkers were cleaned up.
Yeah.
But so too were the camels. The camels lost 29 camels.
Yeah.
The Berserkers lost 25 Berserkers. But I think in terms of the cost effectiveness of that, it's still in favor of the Berserkers, right? Am I wrong? Is the unique unit that expensive?
Well, the other cost that we need to think about as well is that the imp camels took 2 upgrades to get to where they are, and then the numbers are 0 or 5. You know, so the Berserker upgrade, the Berserker cost for that fight was actually effective.
Yes, I think so.
I think you just expect to win it as the Berserker player. And you look at the score, and Rice Farm's not that far ahead. There's res in the bank. Their boom's kind of halted. Gol Gumbaz theory coming in hot and fast here. Is this metronomical? Was that a disheartened, taking a fight, feeling bad about it, and calling the GG?
I think there it's interesting because you feel like that's your only castle. I can't replenish those Berserkers, but my opponent can replenish his military, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that castle, as you said, has been placed incorrectly, if that was placed at the back, you have another. You know, the eco probably starts to take in. Effect.
Yeah. And you can see Rice Farm, I think, did the right thing in producing Army to control the map, and the Army actually ended up taking a really good fight for them. But then switching in behind it. Whereas Gol Gumbaz probably should have predicted the hand cannon switch, and knowing that camels were in play, and got Arbs after getting to the Elite Berserker. And Arb Pike Ram isn't an easy thing for the Hindustanis to deal with here.
Yeah, maybe what I was saying before with the single unit with the Berserker, you think, well, this is doing the job.
Yeah.
Imagine if there was 2 or 3 barracks and just a few pikemen. Cheap pikemen put in. They'd be the Berserkers could have ran back, and then the camels probably would have stayed there to fight to save the Trebs.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. No, I think this was an early GG call from Gol Gumbaz. I think Rice Farm was on top, and Rice Farm was winning the game, but I don't think Gol Gumbaz was out of the game yet. So interesting to see that. It's really interesting that Metro's just rocked up into chat. But the Rice Farm Militia MVP farming eco is still safe.
Wow. Yeah, I think it is interesting. There are definitely players who play on. We saw both extremes, right? We saw a player get defeated, and now we've seen games where players they get defeated mentally and call it early. And I know for myself, like, there's definitely times where I call the GG quite early, and I regret it. And there's times where I play on and to the death, right?
Yeah. But look, you know, the players are giving their best of their ability, so there's nothing against them there. And
Militia won the game.
Militia won the game. We saw a really fun game there as well. I think that, you know, both players went for a bit of early aggression. It was a bit of back and forth. Gol Gumbaz with the aggressive tower early. So it's really, really good. So yeah, but you just see that resources collected. Gol Gumbaz has taken in 5,000 more. That timing from Rice Farm was really important, and maybe there's a bit of Iceman about the Rice Farm. There's a bit of Ice Farm going on here. Just with that kind of 2 TC 70 pop imp timing, and having a lot of kind of Castle Age rating with the units. I can see a bit of a Iceman theory developing here. Have we got Iceman versus Metro? Don't know. Crazy Joe, thank you. Thanks for joining. Good night. Hope to catch you around. My friend Mango Lord loves you, Crazy Joe. So I've only ever heard positive things about you. So I think we get into game 2, hey?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Gol Gumbaz, let's have a quick look at the draft. Let's go back to the spec dash. So Gol Gumbaz gets to pick the next map. Now, Le Grand Fosse has been their first pick, and Mudflow. And we see Rice Farm with Monocle and Land Madness. I think you go for something with a prepared strategy. I think they go to Le Grand Fosse, and they, you know, go for what they've prepared for and haven't been able to show yet. And I don't know what they're cooking. Vikings coming in is really interesting.
FC Conks could be.
I was just thinking that FC Conks,
and so is Matt actually in the chat.
Yeah. So FC Conks. Yeah, everyone thinks FC Conks. Le Grand Fosse, FC Conks. And is Rice Farm? I don't know. Were they thinking? I don't see a real Le Grand Fosse Civ here, so I think maybe it could be a Berbers counter pick coming into play.
Maybe Byzantines sounds.
Byzantines is the last pick. Byzantine sounds wrong, but is Byzantines what we see? I'm not sure.
I mean, I've been enjoying all in skirm play, so Byzantine sounds great to me.
Yeah, cheap skirm. Anything better than Byzantines.
Bowman.
Yeah. Korean Tower Rush, FC Composite Bowman. The Gumbaz is cooking, right? We can see a lot that could come into play here.
Yeah, I don't think their civs are obvious choices, right?
No.
Like, in the first round, I think most of the maps, every civ had an obvious. It was kind of obvious where the civs were being played.
Yeah.
But maybe that's best of 3 nature. Like best of 5, you've got a bit more deviousness about you.
Well, absolutely. And I think this is a map we probably don't have a fully defined meta for. I think out of all the maps, it's the most undefined in terms of how it's played out in pro games, because we haven't really seen it in the scene for a while. And in terms of like us figuring out a meta, we haven't played enough games on it to see what's working. So far, it's been played 3 times, including the show matches, and twice it's been FC Scores. And one of those was just me cooking, and I think the other one was somebody thinking, that's a great cook. Let's do it. So I don't actually know if that's the definable meta for this map. But I've got the game loaded, so shall we crack in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so we game 2, Gol Gumbaz versus Rice Farm, and we see Japanese versus the Berbers. So the first pick Japanese coming in for Gol Gumbaz on Le Grand Fosse. And I think Rice Farm was predicting a bit of Spanish FC conks with this Berbers pick. I think this was an attempted counter pick, but it's also one of the Iceman's most comfortable picks.
I mean, do you favor the Japanese sort of here?
I kind of do. I really kind of do, unless Rice Farm can get to like heavy posting, like Camelarcher numbers. Until then, I think the Japanese have the better of this matchup. But I also think it's a hard matchup for the Japanese to play, because you have to be on the back foot defending and going more into that infantry and archer combination rather than
unless you take the initiative with the men at arm tower.
Yeah, and men at arm towers here could be brutal. It's a strong hideout strategy, and this is a basically a hideout map, but with no safe wood.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, are you at 0 seconds?
I'm at 1.
You're at 1. Okay. All right. I'm at 1 second now. So 3, 2, 1, go. So we're into game 2 of the second division semi-final, Gol Gumbaz versus Rice Farm. And
look at this.
Instant. Oh, was that a dock attempt? No, it's a mill.
I don't think so.
Straight for the mill. Japanese mill.
Japanese mill.
Oh, instant barracks? No, we don't. There's a mill going forward. Instant lane. Gol Gumbaz is cooking. Gol Gumbaz is cooking.
Taking a bit of a wider berth here, so keeping it calm. And the thing with the fish, right? They're faster gather rate. So
yeah,
4 on. Like, look at those sheep. They haven't even moved from their starting position.
Yep.
So that should make the gather, like the villager production, a little bit smoother.
This is fascinating. This bill is. I don't think it's going for a lane, is it?
Well, it must be going for something.
They've got to drop a house soon. They've really got to drop a house soon.
And Loom's coming in for Gol Gumbaz.
Is it going to be the lame the boars, but leave them and like try and kill them with the scout type situation?
Maybe. I mean, if you get 1, that's good. If you get 2, that's probably
that's so worth it. Yeah.
I mean, it's an early lumber camp here.
Walling them in. But there's villas there. Oh no! But we've got loom.
No loom.
No loom. Yeah. Oh, we needed to finish the wall, and loom comes in for Rice Farm.
There we go. Do you have to give up? You can't give up on that lumber camp.
No.
Because you've got no wood. You have to take stragglers.
And now that loom is in, this becomes quite dangerous for the Gol Gumbaz.
Yeah. The scout will.
The scout's taking a bit of HP, but if you can bring Blue Scout away, and yep, Rice Farm does well to bring the boar in. But is it chasing? What villa is it chasing? Oh, the high HP
one on the.
Oof. All right. And they had to delete the palisade. That was really well done by Rice Farm, because they had to delete the palisade to get into their base or out of their base. As we see the Vil and Scout actually taking some good engagements for Gol Gumbaz, getting the heal and taking more hits, but good micro from Rice Farm. This is going to be tight. I think Rice Farm... Oh, Gol Gumbaz gets it. Oh. And the second boar's coming in. Do we see any fancy house tricks or anything? This is a 1 HP Scout. Oh. Can get knocked. Ooh. And that's the weak Vil, though. That's the weak Vil, but it is a Berberville. It is a Berberville.
Oh. It is a new Berberville, though, so... Oh, look at that. Vil blocking.
Unintentional Vil blocking, I think, too.
Do you think? I think that was intentional.
You think it was intentional?
Oh, I think it was. Oh, okay. Two
balls in, but this has been a bit chaotic. And actually, Gol Gumbaz, they're only 1 Vil behind. Their eco's kind of going okay. They're adding their own Lumby Camp. 30 seconds of idle eco time difference, and they just lost a boar on the gate. Oh no, disaster. And the Rice Farm brings in the 3rd boar.
How big of an impact is this to our players in the out of the 8? Who of the players can handle this kind of approach? Psychologically.
So in terms of the Rice Farm, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think the way it's been so calmly dealt with tells me it's someone who's a bit more experienced in shenanigans. So obviously TDI always comes to mind when shenanigans are at play. But I think maybe like Iceman he's the Iceman, right? He's cool and calm and collected. And I think Sugar's actually quite calm in these situations as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we see past the Sugar. Whoever Gol Gumbaz is, put a sheep on the gate for crying out loud.
Look at this. Gol Gumbaz has learned.
They just pause at the gate.
I've done this little before as well with the boar.
Yeah.
It's usually with the boar I do this.
Yeah.
I don't do a pause, but I time it so that the boar is close enough when I go through the gate.
And we see the barracks
with the
in the
deer,
back.
definitely. Oh, and now the final boar's coming through. This is...
Yeah. The Gumby.
They must be celebrating a feast, the Gol village. All the boars are coming in.
I was going to get biblical for a second and talk about the son that like leaves home and then his dad slaughters the lamb. But the son that left home is building a barracks in the back of Rice Farm space. So he's not home yet.
Oh, wow.
And 2 Vils are going forward. Where are these 2 Vils going? Or are they going to Stone?
Stone, it must be.
Has Gol Gumbaz done their preparation? They're blindly going out to where the Stone is. This is prepared. This is prepared. The Stone always generates on this side.
It's on one of the 2 sides though.
Yeah, I thought it was always on the northern side, but maybe
I'm pretty sure it's either on that side or where the Viking boat is. Those 2 are changeable, but maybe the script was made a couple years ago, so maybe there are changes in the DE. I know the scripting's been affected a little bit.
Yeah. As we see 2 militia in play, and gold for the 3rd militia is in, and then the men-at-arm upgrade should hit pretty quickly. Now, what vision is the Palisades giving us? Not a lot, but we know that Rice Farm has had to have left an opening.
Yep.
And their wood is pretty exposed. So Rice Farm not walling up, because you can get some nice wall offs in this map, is quite interesting. And Blue's going into archers.
We did see Towers last game.
Yeah.
Was somewhat effective, but not
singular
as
tower,
as
I suppose.
Expected.
But this is actually quite... I would love it just to be a little bit further forward. It's going to deny the wood line.
Waiting for men-at-arms to come in is the plan.
Yeah.
And it's perfect. Again, it's perfectly placed. Like, out of sight is what I mean by perfectly placed.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Last time it was out of sight, and it was just the scout found it, and this is huge.
And the militia's in on the wood line.
Men-at-arms.
Men-at-arms, we've got to wait for
40 seconds.
Although Japanese militia do fire faster, But we're gonna punch it down. Quick wall, no. But men-at-arms cooking in here could be quite interesting. You need to fight with the Vils. You need to fight with the Vils. You need to repair with the Vils, and
this is the
keep your militia alive. Keep your militia alive. Here we are. This is big now. Men-at-arms is a problem. We need to repair. We need to fight with Vils.
It's the second time we've seen a tower being rushed down,
which
was the right call.
But I don't think it was this time.
Comes in.
Yeah, and that is
the right time.
8 eco kills for Gol Gumbaz right now.
Wow.
8 eco kills. That is
14 Vils.
Wow.
15 Vils now.
Wow. And another one going down. Wow. The 2 militia that are alive have got the 3 militia that are alive got 6 eco kills, and the tower got 1 as well. Great pressure from Gol Gumbaz. Amazing pressure. And walling him out again. 1 archer at home.
Do you see the range coming up now for Gol Gumbaz? The macro is there for archers. Look at the food. 0 on food. Is this? Oh, we got the berries happening.
Berries happening, but there's an archer and spears poking their head in on that side. And we are on stone.
How interesting. Look at the Gol Gumbaz base, right?
Yeah.
Japanese have the cheapest mining camps.
Yep.
And long distancing both stone and gold.
Yep.
Right? It's
although they only have 3 on wood.
Yeah, exactly. Like, imagine any other civ trying to do this. Like, they would not be able to cope, right?
Oh, absolutely. And there's an archer going around the back from Rice Farm that has got 2 men-at-arm kills. As we see another tower coming down. And this one's going to be rushed again. And the Vil numbers... No, I'll stop garrisoning. You got to fight with Vils because they're under the tower range. But the men-at-arm's getting its value. You got to fight with the Vils. You got to fight with the Vils. As an experienced tower rusher, my advice to Rice Farm is fight with your Vils. Get 1 repairing.
Gol Gumbaz, you mean?
Yes, a Gol Gumbaz to anyone. And hang on, Rice Farm has sent 3 Vils forward.
Oh, the archers are in. There's a hole.
There was 2 spears and an archer hitting that for like a good. Like, they sent them forward when they first took the pressure.
Wow. Oh.
And we see more ranges.
Look at the 3 Vils.
Oh, the range never got finished for Gol Gumbaz. They just completed it. And a blacksmith coming in too. And, geez, this is a bit of a chaotic game.
What is happening? I mean, that archer is going to get... Oh, no. Is it going to get hit? Nope. I don't know what's going on here.
I want to see Gol Gumbaz take wood where the towers are. On Rice Farm's wood.
That might be the case. And here we go. It's a slow tower crawl now. We've got towers in range of towers.
Yep, which is huge. They just need to be garrisoned and walling. Smart walling.
Wow.
Oh, they're both lumber camping the same spot. They're both lumber camping the same wood line. Look at this.
I'm just reading Matt's... Sorry, I was reading Matt's comment.
Yeah.
Gumbaz just doesn't care about Vil production. Seems pretty TDI.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone's TDI. But have a look right in front of the stone quarry.
Yeah, this is... And look at that. Off they go.
They saw the archers coming in.
Is out of there.
Yeah.
Did you ever expect a base trade on...
On Le Grand Fossé? Maybe. Safest wood line is your opponent's wood line right now.
Yeah. I mean, look at Rice Farm. Also, only has 2 on food, right?
Yeah.
For some reason,
hasn't taken their shortfish.
Yeah. Why build 2 farms when you could build 2 mills?
Yeah. And we see 1 skirm out for the Japanese player, but now they're under safe towers, and yeah, the cheap lumber camp's coming in play here for them. And they've got vision on Gumbaz's lumber camp as a result of theirs. It's cheap outpost.
Gumbaz does have a blacksmith, but can't afford this. I think this is maybe you go for a second range or just go full all in 2 range archers maybe.
They need to get Gol Gumbaz needs fletching, and then they can range that tower with 2 towers. But they're farming out the back
Oh my god.
Oh, Rice Farm
the
space.
Japanese. The only civ that would do this better is the Khmer.
Yeah. Yeah. Mill not needed. Oh, and they're getting armor rather than fletching.
I mean, look at this.
Ooh.
Rice Farm's gonna hit through the other side of the Palisade Gate, but there's gonna be nothing there. There's
nothing under the TC. Gumby is just... This is now evacuation.
Man, neither play with a market, because look at the gold income, right? It's 600 gold for Rice Farm.
And they've still got a bit of gold left in their base. Whereas... Oh, but there's so much gold left in the Gumbaz base.
Rice Farm.
Is he going to kill this town centre? Just Garrus. Oh, there's all the vills on the shorefish. Garrus in the town centre. Gumbaz has done well to keep their vills alive.
Oh my god.
And are they going to go tower? Because they know the archers are in their base. There's a market coming down. Are they going to go and tower that woodline?
Maybe. Do you just tower the stone piles? I think you tower... I mean, it's not confirmed. There we go. I think you tower a stone pile. And then start taking stone. And maybe just tower everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because Rice Farm could click up to Castle Age, right?
Oh, towering the market.
Again, this is another...
There's skirms there, though, so I do like it a little bit more.
Oh, look at this. House walls in front.
House walls in front.
Except...
But there's not enough.
The skirm blocks.
Yeah.
The skirm block that there.
Again, Gumbaz has got to fight with Vils, but... This... Oh, if they could wall something in. Delete. Oh, they just... I think they deleted that? I can't quite tell. But the skirms could tickle a few of these low HP Vils to death. So they're just going to go again. On tower on the other side. Which is out of vision. Yeah, pull the skirms in the other direction. Gumby's cooking.
Wow.
Gumby's cooking. And the archers are like, alright, on the other side of the map, we're just going to run to the...
Rice Farm knows. Look at... Oh, wait. Do they? Okay, they know now. I felt like they had a sixth sense about that.
Yeah.
I mean, where else are those? What are those Vils doing? Towers have been... Not just this game.
Yeah.
This last game. Like...
Where are the archers?
It's been the focus. I mean, we do see Castle Age a minute away. Gol Gumbaz could build a market. Oh no, these archers, man.
Oh man.
That's...
Archers going back in the other direction though. Market being dropped.
Yeah. Gol Gumbaz, yeah.
And
I mean,
Rice Farm is now chopping wood out the back of the Gol Gumbaz base.
Oh, check out that tree wall. That's really strange. At where Rice Farm's base is.
Yeah. Where Rice Farm's base is, or where?
Where Rice Farm's lumber camp is. I can't.
There's no base. No one's got a base in this game. But Castle Age is huge for Rice Farm, and they've got their farm eco up and running.
Yeah. Do you as Gol Gumbaz prioritize Castle Age, or do you just try to get a few spears out? I mean, the knights are going to come. So I don't know.
They're towering the stone now.
Oh, but that knight's going to get there in time.
Oof, is it going to see it? Oh, that's huge. I think this might be the moment where Gol Gumbaz calls it. They are on their way up. But even if they get this tower up...
Yeah.
The GG's called. And Gumbaz cooked hard in this game.
Oh, and look at the farming eco. It was actually the farming eco, not the tower. For Gol Gumbaz at the south.
Oh, the farming eco is getting wrecked. Yeah. The hidden farming ecos just got destroyed by the archers as well. So Rice Farm just took two really good fights, and GG.
Yeah.
GG to both players. That was Look, Gol Gumbaz cooked there. I liked what they did.
Yeah.
They put a lot of pressure onto Rice Farm.
Do you think with just a little bit of cleanup there, that could have been massively different, right? Like the towers getting rushed down again.
Yeah.
But the men-at-arms timing just being a little bit late. Maybe, it's very tempting to go, oh, my opponent's in field age. I better hit I better use my militia before they get archers out.
Yeah.
But if you just wait for the men at arms, like even if there's one archer there, you've got your tower. You should be all right.
Yeah, 100%.
And maybe just a little bit of patience could have swung that.
100%. I think the thing that Rice Farm did incredibly well was actually going forward with their army. And I think that puts, if Gol Gumbaz gets to eco at home under zero pressure, it becomes their game, because it doesn't matter, because they're disrupting eco. They're causing Rice Farm issues, and Rice Farm's throwing all their resources towards the defense. But Rice Farm, after an initial bad fight, to be honest,
yeah, I mean,
put their
I'm not a
focus
player
on their
who
opposition.
Can do that.
Yeah,
like I'm not a player who can just go forward so easily. I feel like I need to deal with this. So
yeah,
you know, there can't be that many players who are comfortable doing that, right?
No, calm enough to do that.
Yeah,
to send units forward and get maximum value out of them.
They're very yeah, they've got a lot of tools under their belt, like to you know, they dealt with the boar issues. They dealt with the tower.
Yeah.
Well, they dealt with the towers. I think how many towers did they knock down? About 4.
Oh, definitely. If you include those couple out the back on this tertiary wood line at that point in time.
Maybe 6 if you include the unbuilt towers as well, right? Preventing the towers from being built.
Yeah. No, Rice Farm.
Rice Farm, 10 archers, no fletching either, right? So like the archers are not the unit they were going for.
No.
They didn't even consider fletching. Like, do they even have a blacksmith?
Nope.
So
well, it's so hard to see. The map so spread out. There's a blacksmith coming down in their current Gol Gumbaz woodline area.
Rice Farm's not even there. They built the archers because that's what the situation called for, not because
they were going
to commit to them.
They opened range before they saw the tower.
Range. But they did see. I mean, the Japanese player was forward, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's a pretty safe bet. Japanese men at arms.
So the tower was dropped before. I think archer or skirm opening is probably what you want to do on a map like this anyway. But the archery range was dropped before they had any information to know about the tower or the barracks in the back. But probably read the game. If this is the aggressive start, it will probably be men at arms or archers himself from the Japanese.
And fletching wouldn't have provided much anyway, right?
No.
It would have slowed down the castle timing.
Yeah.
So especially with no blacksmith on the field as well. Can't afford the wood for a blacksmith.
Yeah.
That's actually the biggest thing, right? Where's the wood? Where do you take the wood?
Oh, like, it was kind of, that was crazy. Just the way they had to adapt to new wood lines and work around. Gumbaz really made that difficult for the farm. It was really well done.
I mean, 2-0 now, right?
2-0.
We talked about it before, but this is where you got to pull out a map that's a momentum shift.
Yeah.
I think both games have been a little bit, they've played them both very like sort of feudal aggression, kind of a little bit chaotic kind of style. What's the third map? It's Mudflow, isn't it? Like,
it's got to be Mudflow. It's got to be Mudflow.
Like,
wow. It's got to be taking the game to Mudflow, keeping the pressure on. Or I guess Gumbaz has been kind of the one on the front foot, and Rice Farm's been the one defending. And if we maybe go back to both of their first sets, Gumbaz Gumbaz was quite aggressive on their first set, but Rice Farm was the aggressor and definitely fell behind. So does Gumbaz go, maybe I sit back and let them come on me and absorb some pressure and go to Monocle?
Phrasing?
Well, intentional maybe.
Okay.
Everything's sexual.
Well, Mudflow, I feel like, again, like the key thing we saw in that map, the res was really, really difficult to take. Whereas on Mudflow, that's the same thing. I mean, the problem with Mudflow is there's less res.
Yeah, Mudflow is crazy
in the first place.
Absolutely. So... Absolutely. Now, my Age of Empires crashed, so that's not good.
Oh. Well, maybe have a quick look at the civs while that's
yeah,
loading up. I mean, I think you play Georgians or Armenians here.
Yeah, Georgians or Armenians.
With the mule cart. I mean,
we're thinking Mudflow, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because it's definitely a map that is. It's a bit of a like Bog Islands. I think Bog Islands, Mudflow, a bit of a momentum shift.
Yeah, and I don't actually think Rice Farm has really drafted for Mudflow unless they're cooking something maybe with the Cubans, getting that second safe TC on a woodline.
Yeah. Do you? I mean, you'd play Georgians more often than not, but are you like what's your Land Madness civ? Spanish?
I think Land Madness. Well, actually, Spanish on Land Madness could be quite good.
Really. Or
Koreans.
What about Armenians? Armenians on Land Madness. You just go full Dark Age Spears FC.
Yeah, okay. That's you're cooking blue. You're cooking blue.
That's like I've considered before. I did try it once and it was awful because it's a completely different game plan. So you need to learn how to defend with spears to FC in time.
Yeah.
But maybe Georgians here on Mudflow and Armenians. I feel like the obvious choice to me, like my first instinct would be Armenians on Mudflow, Georgians on Land Madness, but maybe swapping them across would be actually better. Like that's what's the people in the chat seem to be preferring.
Yeah, the people in chat definitely thinking Georgians are the way to go. And then if you're Rice Farm, what have you got prepared? What are you going for?
On Mudflow?
I would love to see a Cuban 2TC playing on Mudflow.
Yeah, well, I think Monocle's your Cumans.
Yeah, definitely.
Franks is your Land Madness, so you could choose Persians or Byzantines.
Both probably have their strengths here.
Like, do you play this like a water map and go Byzantine fires?
Yeah, and then I guess camels into knights as the game progresses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got the game loaded. Are you ready to go?
Okay. I'm ready.
You're ready. I'm at 1 second.
Me too.
Excellent. All right. So 3, 2, 1, go. So we see game 3 of. It's working. Yep. Cool. There was just nothing happening because of where I was. All right. Getting the tech issues. Oh, game paused. Is your game paused?
No.
No.
But I will pause.
I think my Age of Empires is struggling for some reason at the moment. It is just crashed again. If I try and unpause. What is going on? I'm gonna have to restart Age of Empires again.
I have had the game pause. Oh,
that's because I shut Age of Empires down.
Right. I have had the game pause in Capture Age before, but when I alt tab to the in-game, it fixes itself. I think if I pause it in game and unpause it in game and then go back to Capture Age, it's sort of
No, like when I alt tabbed into Age of Empires, it was crashed, but I did have going minimize Age of Empires 2 automatically to improve performance. I did turn that on last night to see if it made a difference. I'm going to turn that off.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Let's see if that makes a difference. So we know it's Mudflow and we know it's Georgians versus Byzantines. We've just seen that. So what time are you up to?
24 seconds.
24 seconds. Okay, cool. All right, now get into OBS, get Capture Age.
I think it must be spear defense and fires, maybe control the wood line.
Yeah.
Long term, and then
spear defense and fires. Yeah.
Then what do you do?
Then I guess you you just hold. I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this is Gol Gumbaz's civ win, I think.
Yeah. If you've set up for fires, then the archer switch to crossbow isn't difficult either.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, fires into crossbow could be really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm at 24 seconds, so are you ready to go?
Yep, ready to go.
Right, let's pray that the Age of Empires gods are going to look after me now. 3, 2, 1, go, and we'll see how this plays out for Gol Gumbaz into Rice Farm on Mudflow with the Georgians into the Byzantines. So Mudflow, interesting map. First time we're seeing it. You've got a bit of fish under your TC. So it's 450 foods worth. And we see Gumbaz going for fish and Rice Farm going for buffalo.
Yeah. I typically go for the fish straight away, not only because it's faster gathering, but then I have 4 buffalo scouting.
Yeah, okay.
Normally I'm not super ambitious with my scouting.
Yeah.
But I use all 4 to scout on Mudflow.
Yeah,
because
Well, you can.
250, what is it? 450 food in total.
Yeah.
Like, you can, even if you lose a single buffalo, that tells you that they've come forward to scout you. So
yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Like, I don't really care too much about losing 1 buffalo.
No.
It's not ideal, but
in fact, you can use the buffalo to scout your base while your scout goes forward. So if they pick one of your buffaloes, you're probably likely to pick one of them.
I mean, Rice Farm's killed 2 buffalo now. This is
yeah. This is a bit of an inefficient start for them, and you can just look at resources collected. Gol Gumbaz is actually already quite far ahead, and has already finished that first little fish. But they're not scouting with their buffalo. Their buffalo's just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yeah.
Well, there's 150 food left under the TC for the buffalo, plus the boar for Rice Farm.
It's interesting. So fish has
really been a little bit difficult.
Yeah, and being that this is a Gol Gumbaz map pick, I think maybe Rice Farm's not really prepared for Mudflow here, and just kind of hasn't maybe seen it as often. So it is interesting.
I mean, look at the lumbercan choices as well, right?
Yeah, so quite a forward lumbercan.
It's interesting. For Gol Gumbaz, with the mule cart, I would actually take the close by, like, sort of like what Rice Farm's done. Take the pack of 8 trees that are near the berries at the front there.
Yeah.
And then once they're done, send my mule cart down and go to the bottom area because...
Yeah, having the mule cart does give you that flexibility of starting closer to home and then moving out.
Yeah, the walk distance wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. What's this? A Ville moving out for Gol Gumbaz. Are they just... Oh, they're walling in their wood line. Okay, and there is a little palisade wall. So they're just protecting their little alcove.
With the stone, I wonder if that's just a coincidence. It must just be a coincidence, right?
Yeah, but having said that, they can just go to stone and wood as a result, which is quite interesting. And
maybe
the
a
mule
tower
cart
there.
Yeah, a tower
could
actually
be great.
Quite protective. It's a safe little spot for them. And they're building barracks, I would say relatively early, particularly as Georgians, but are they about to click up? They've just brought the second boar in. They're not going up anytime soon.
I mean, do you go for a Jarash on this map?
Is that their second building, but they're building a mill? Maybe it is a Jarash. Loom's coming in. Loom's coming in for both players.
It's not another tower. Plays it.
Oh, I kind of hope it is. I want Gol Gumbaz to go down swinging and like get that win and get on top and like take that swift like momentum killer for the Rice Farm.
This is a cursed tower confirmed.
Yeah, Gol Gumbaz is the accursed tower. As we see, both players pretty much up at pretty similar times, but no militia on the way, so it's not a tower play. So it's not a drush play.
Do you think they've been a little bit? Have they changed their game plan here? Because they've built a barracks
maybe
early, haven't produced from it. They've built a mill, not collecting berries.
Mm.
Like it's
Yeah,
unusual.
that's interesting. Did they think they needed the mill for the second building? But
They
they'd already
must have
built the
forgotten
barracks.
they forgot about the mule cart, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe they were rushing down the mill as a bit of an unprepared strategy here. Interestingly, Rice Farm is just about to scout the TC.
Oh no!
And he's got the no. But has dived the TC.
That lumberjack saves the day.
Saves the day.
Buffalo.
Yep.
Oh my god.
But yeah, so now the farm has got their scouting info, and Gol Gumbaz immediately spots the stable for Rice Farm. Scout runs right past it, and Rice Farm's sitting right on the stable for Gol Gumbaz, and is going to pick the Vil.
There's a second Vil there. You need to bring the second Vil in.
Yeah.
Can a scout can't kill two?
Not two. Nah. Not after this much HP damage. Oh, he's going to lose the Vil. He's got to push that Vil back. Oh, disaster. Well done by Rice Farm.
Can a scout kill two
unloomed Vils
in sequence though? If it's just one at a time,
possibly. Yeah, it depends on how quick you react. Like I think if it's fighting the whole time, I think the scout dies and the Vil has like 1 HP left.
Yeah.
But could be wrong. But you can see Rice Farm is going to run out of wood soon. This lumber camp is no longer going to be viable for them.
Yeah.
And both players do have their eco upgrades coming in. And
the good thing is you do have the straggler trees under the TC.
Yeah.
So if you do forget to build a second lumber camp, you can take stragglers.
Yeah.
But they're only 50 wood.
But they are just taking the wood just behind them. They're definitely scared of the middle.
Which is odd for the Byzantine player.
Yeah.
I would have expected. Look at that. They've got 4 spears out.
Yeah.
Defense. Like they're playing this very much like Land Madness.
Yeah. And you can see farming eco coming in here for the Gumbaz. And they're getting to their buffalo, which is nice.
Wow, Gol Gumbaz, not a berry fan, right? Look at that. Just
yeah. Berries are slow. TDR's taught us that, right?
Well, I think farms are about the same pace, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the big thing with farms is they require investment, whereas berries do not. So it's kind of free food income as you build up your bank. But Gumbaz is floating wood. There is a lot of wood there. Over chopped. And this could be quite disastrous.
Where are the spears? They're at the berries.
And Gumbaz hasn't even noticed. The Vils weren't even fighting back yet.
Yeah, you don't expect this to be the case.
No, Gumbaz has not noticed at all.
Oh.
And GG's just called straight off the bat. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. I think Gumbaz was maybe a little bit mentally defeated going into that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Two games before that could have, for example, that first game, maybe could have played on a lot longer after reviewing the map.
Yeah, definitely.
Game 2, the strategy had its moments but didn't quite pan out.
Yeah.
And then this one, it's just,
it's reminiscent of the Wandering Warriors Cup semi-final between Mr. Yo and the Viper. I don't know if anyone remembers that as vividly as I do, but the Viper Mr. Yo tries to lane the Viper. They're on like the 3rd map. It's been a really tight set. The Viper's up 2-0 in a best of 5. And Mr. Yo tries to lane it, loses his Vil to the boar, placed a house to de-aggro the boar. The Viper punches it down, and the Mr. Yo calls GG, and the game's like 4 minutes in.
Wow.
Just kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think at the same time, the Viper successfully lamed a Mr. Yo boar, so it was kind of like...
Yeah.
Had nothing left, had no wood, had no food. The game was already over. But I think Gol Gumbaz actually was a lot closer in game 1 and 2 than they think they were, and played really well. And, disappointing finish for them, but I can understand when you're in this position. You've lost a Vil already on the stable. Things are just not going your way. You're ready just to call it.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And Metro brings up a good point. The Viper also had like a 2 minute loss to Leary in a Red Bull event. I think that was actually the most recent Red Bull event, where like he like lost 2 vills in an Empire Wars format and just was like GG. And Kados Mr. Yo was playing from an internet cafe, and it was Chinese New Year, and I think he was just over it as well, if I remember. And he was like, yeah, he was playing in an internet cafe without his setup. Like it was like there were fireworks going off and stuff like that, from what my memory is on that one. But yeah, these things happen, I guess, is more what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
It happens to the pros, and it happens to the Blues crew as well.
I mean, this is going to be another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vills down.
Yeah. It's probably over from here, but it's disappointing, I guess, is the main
those spears are kind of at the wrong spot as well, right?
Yeah,
maybe playing it like Land Madness. Look at how the Byzantia played it. There's 3 spears at the lumber camp. There's 4 spears on the farms.
Yeah.
Maybe Mudflow is a much heavier spear kind of game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, that wood being chopped really, really hurt us. That over chop, just, you know, how often is it that an over chop costs you a game?
Oh, I mean, I'm going to just rewind it and I'm going to watch. Was Rice Farm... Oh, no, Rice Farm didn't... The timing of the scouts coming in was just as it was like perfect timing for the overchop, but Rice Farm didn't actually see.
Right.
They were out of vision, but they started moving at the exact time the overchop happened. So
yeah. And you know, they obviously know it's an overchop and they just take advantage of it straight away.
Yep.
You know, getting the scouts in there, getting the kills. Yeah. It was well played. Rice Farm looked pretty strong there. I think they were maybe a little bit undercooked on their first set against a strong Dome of the Rock. But Rice Farm played really well. They coped with pressure well. Gol Gumbaz put a lot of pressure on them, right? Little minor things changed those games to go their way. So Gol Gumbaz played a great set and put Rice Farm under a lot of pressure, and Rice Farm was cold as ice.
So that means Rice Farm is going to go play... Do you remember?
Fence.
The Fence, Yep. In the 5th place playoff.
5th place playoff, and then it will be Yertle versus Gol Gumbaz.
Gol Gumbaz. So that one will be... Those two are confirmed.
Yeah. So I don't know if this was actually intentional or not, because you put a lot more thought into things than I do. But I've just realized that means that as we're progressing, the players are probably getting more tightly connected in their elo and ability. So we should actually start to be seeing, like in the last 4 sets, we should probably see the tightest sets of all.
There is definitely a bit of a sorting algorithm happening in that sense.
Yeah.
But obviously,
from a random keep in mind, it's hard.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not it won't be a perfect sort by the end of it. But they are, you know, the players that have made it to the first place.
Yeah.
Obviously, did really, really well.
Yeah.
And then I think these players as well, like, have shown some good performances, and it's not, even though the score lines have actually been quite one-sided, perhaps, they're actually been quite close games for the most part. There's been 1 or 2 games here or there where I think the players either hit fatigue or were just playing a map that they really had no clue what they were doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall,
overall
it's been a lot closer.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a super close tournament so far. I think the players are a lot tighter in their ability, and I think it's just minor little things in terms of execution that's just separating a few players out, I think. Even as some things as simple as like good drafting has been quite like quite you know, creating minor advantages as they go through. But
I think I think something that where I was stuck at say 1200 for quite some time, because I'd win games fairly handily, and then I'd lose to something like an overchop, or I'd lose to something like a Men at Arms turning up and killing me in feudal age. And I think once I did spend a bit of time focusing on I'm never going to lose to a Men at Arms by surprise again. I might lose to a Men at Arms, but not by surprise. I'm gonna scout. I'm gonna wall. I'm gonna do my, because it really sucks when you lose that way.
It hurts.
So
and you lose in like you start to lose those games mentally, I think, as well. Like when you see Men at Arms, you start going, oh no, I can't do anything about this. But yeah, I think it's once you get over those mental blocks, and I think the great part of this tournament is not knowing who you're up against means it's really hard to have a mental block on it, is that you can kind of just play your own game.
Yeah, exactly.